Bond is now set at $1 million for a Houston man accused of killing his daughter during a police chase and standoff.
Investigators say Deontay Flanagan took his 2-year-old daughter, Zavea, from daycare Monday, then went to the mother's job, his girlfriend, hitting the mother and stealing her cell phone. That led to a police chase. And we've just learned, during the standoff, Flanagan was on Facetime with his girlfriend, assaulting the toddler as the mother watched. Court officials say he did this as he demanded the mother's passcode to see if she was involved with another man. Zavea later died at the hospital. More on this story on air and online.
Today, I'm diving into the craziest story of a man who choked his daughter on FaceTime while running from the cops. Can I unpack all the wild details and make sense of this insane situation? This incident is truly one of the most bizarre and alarming I've come across, and it's got me thinking about the larger issue of domestic violence. When you add the element of police pursuit, the stakes are raised exponentially. It's a toxic mix that can lead to disastrous consequences, and we've seen it time and time again. Domestic violence is a plague on our society, and it's often the most vulnerable members of our communities who suffer the most. It's a pattern of behavior that's built on control, manipulation, and fear. And when you throw the police into the mix, it's a recipe for disaster. This incident is just one example of how quickly things can escalate, and how important it is for us to take domestic violence seriously. As the police closed in, the man's desperation turned to violence, and he began choking his own daughter live on camera. The footage is
on a chase while she was in that car.
Yeah, just a devastating story, and we saw it unfold live on ABC 13 yesterday. Now, family members tell ABC 13 that her name was Zavea, and she was only 2 years old. Her father right now is behind bars this morning with some major charges. ABC 13 reporter Jeff Ealing live outside the Harris County Courthouse this morning. Jeff, what more do we know here about the suspect?
Well, we can tell you that 25-year-old Deontay Flanagan is going to be charged with murder. That is according to Sheriff Ed Gonzalez. And sources are telling ABC 13 that there is evidence that this 2-year-old girl named Zavea may have been strangled in her father's car. This all started when Deontay Flanagan took his daughter from daycare and then had a violent confrontation with the girl's mother. That led to a police chase that ended after Flanagan crashed into several other cars and then eventually stopped his vehicle. A SWAT team had to be called out to arrest Flanagan, and once he was in custody, officials tried to save the life of 2-year-old Zavea. She was taken to the hospital by life flight, but later died from her injuries. And overnight, Sheriff Ed Gonzalez sent out a tweet saying that Flanagan will be charged with murder. Officials stunned by the injuries to this little girl.
As a father, as just a human being, for anyone to use a child, a precious, defenseless child of 2 years old, it just broke my heart to see her, injured.
All right, so let's talk about what's going to happen next. It might be happening later today. That would be the first appearance in court for Deontay Flanagan. Again, according to the sheriff, he will be facing a murder charge. We are waiting for that first court appearance, and as soon as it happens, we will let you know the details. Reporting live, Jeff Ealing, ABC 13, Eyewitness News.
Bond is now set at $1 million for a Houston man accused of killing his daughter during a police chase and standoff.
Investigators say Deontay Flanagan took his 2-year-old daughter, Zavea, from daycare Monday, then went to the mother's job, his girlfriend, hitting the mother and stealing her cell phone. That led to a police chase. And we've just learned, during the standoff, Flanagan was on FaceTime with his girlfriend, assaulting the toddler as the mother watched. Court officials say he did this as he demanded the mother's passcode to see if she was involved with another man. Zavea later died at the hospital. More on this story on air and online.
Bond increased to $2 million. A 25-year-old Houston area father could be facing capital murder charges. This depends on the autopsy of his 2-year-old daughter, Zavea, whom he is accused of choking and killing during a SWAT situation on Monday. KPRC2's Rowan Balogan joins us live near the county jail where this man remains. Rowan.
Keith, the prosecutor tells me if a medical examiner's office determines that the 2-year-old little girl died due to strangulation, they then will raise the suspect's charge to capital murder. Deontay Flanagan wears a yellow jumpsuit with his hands behind his back in handcuffs as he appears for the first time in front of a judge. The 25-year-old charged with murder. Investigators say he picked up his 2-year-old daughter from daycare, went to the mom's job at Walmart, threatened her, then led law enforcement on a 30-mile chase with his daughter in the passenger seats without a seatbelt or car seats. Prosecutors say he video called the child's grandmother.
In that FaceTime, they were watching the defendant strangle and assault the 2-year-old as he demanded Ms. Watson's phone password.
Chow Wen is a trauma therapist with the GEM Wellness and Counseling Service.
What an unthinkable tragedy that a child, a 2-year-old toddler, had to be weaponized as a result of domestic violence.
The sheriff's office looking into its overall response surrounding this case, including the chase and the events leading up to it, including when deputies responded to the family home last week.
This happened in a 5-day span, starting Wednesday night.
The criminal justice system, law enforcement, prosecutors, they are there to protect survivors. Protective orders are meant to protect you, not to hurt you. In this case, it appears the system has failed this woman.
The 2-year-old's grandfather tells me they wish, the family that is, wishes the suspect didn't receive a bond. If you'd like to help the family with funeral arrangements, they've created a GoFundMe, and you can find that link on our website at clicktohouston.com. Reporting live downtown Houston, Roman Belogan, KPRC.
Investigators from the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office announced that they will conduct an internal investigation into how the department handled the events leading up to a chase which resulted in the death of a 2-year-old girl.
The child's family tells KPRC2's Rowan Belogan they called for help multiple times. He's joining us now from the Harris County Jail with much more on this tragic case. Rowan?
Now, part of that investigation will look into whether the sheriff's office properly responded to an event that the family tells me happened last week and the days of them calling for help.
Give me you.
This is the way Zavea's family wants you to remember the 2-year-old singing. She was the unofficial member of the church's praise team along with mom Kirsten.
She loved to sing. She was a very happy baby. She brought joy to every room. Everyone loved her so much.
Zavea's life cut short. Court documents state her dad, DeAndre Flanagan, choked her. She was pronounced dead at the hospital.
And it just hurt so bad that someone would do something so heartbreaking. Especially someone she just loved so much.
In the days leading up to the chase and her death, Curtis Watson says they called police multiple times after they say Flanagan barged into their home and took her.
The first time, 911, okay, we figure, okay, it's the first time. They figure it's not credible. The second time we call, oh, well, we know we really can't. What do you mean you can't?
He's now pleading with leaders.
We want to foster a law, a bill, and foster it into law because we know that you're the ones that write those laws.
A bill he says he hopes could become law to prevent certain people from being around children. Zavea's mom says she doesn't want her daughter's death to be in vain.
I just want to make sure that nobody ever forgets Zavea Marie. She was such a happy baby, and I just don't want her to be forgotten. Long live Zavea.
And the family tells me they plan to bury the 2-year-old daughter, granddaughter, and niece in 2 weeks. Reporting live, Roman Belogan, KPRC 2 News.
More than